Well, our friend Jessica Tarlov has really outdone herself this time. As some of you know, Jessica Tarlov is the lone left winger on Fox News' The Five, and she silenced her co hosts, whose brains at this point must be filled with Diet Mountain Dew or something like that. And she really conceptualized with a beautiful narrative arc the embarrassing failures of the Iran war. And she does it so extensively and so irrefutably that her co-hosts, even Jesse Waters, who seems to always have something to say, they all have nothing to say. I have a lot to say about the substance here. Let's take a look at the video.
It'll come down to the details of whatever this is. You know, if they get a deal, is it going to be better, the same, or worse than the JCPOA? That's what it's going to get compared to.
By the way, it'll almost certainly be worse.
Loved the cope from Jesse there about the money that would be released to the Iranians, that it denying the fact that it was their money that was being held in Qatari bank accounts when Obama did it, only $1.7 billion, not the huge numbers that people say, versus what's going to happen this time when Donald Trump has to give them some of their money in order to get them to take a deal. And we'll see how it all unfolds. I'm fascinated by Iran saying, we might not toll the strait anymore. There's just going to be a fee that you pay for quote unquote environmental protection, which sounds like you're continuing to toll the Strait of Hormuz. And nobody has yet mentioned the importance of the domestic pressure right now on Donald Trump. The lack of fertilizer that is getting to our country, if you turn on any channel, you'll see interviews with farmers who are saying that it is complete dire straits at this point. We already have a record number of bankruptcies. And so it seems to me, and we'll see what the deal looks like if there is one to be had, Donald Trump needs a midterms deal more than he needs a nuclear deal at this point, and is willing to make a deal and punt some of the more complicated stuff down the road, continue the ceasefire in that respect so that we can deal with $4.50 gas, approval ratings in the tank, minus 52 on inflation, minus 24 on foreign policy. You want to say, oh, this is a great solution to all of this. There are a number of conservative supporters of the war who feel like you did in your initial statements, Jesse, that they want actually more firepower. They don't want us to walk away at this point and just have a diplomatic solution. And I'm not sure at this point that Iran actually does think that we are willing to come at them with missiles again, because we've been threatening, nuclear plant day, bridge day, tunnel day, whatever it is, for a long time at this point. And I'm not saying that I want them necessarily to call our bluff, but I'm not sure that they're quaking in their proverbial booties as much as you might think.
Yeah, the Iranians.
They go from smirking and interrupting. There's usually an interruption every 20 seconds on that show when Jessica tries to talk. They go from smirking and interrupting to staring straight ahead like their mics aren't working all of a sudden. Jessica Tarlov increasingly plays a sort of strange role at Fox, where I think Fox, on one hand, says, well, she's there to provide balance. But the way it ends up being is that sometimes she's the only person on that show who's willing to acknowledge observable reality. And you have four other people there who won't even concede what is real in the world. And as soon as someone goes, well, hold on a second, here are the timelines, here are the outcomes, here were the predictions and the promises, the contradictions, the consequences, the vibe changes. I don't think they like it. And Jesse Waters has kind of perfected the cable news smirk, where it's like, I don't really have much to say, but I'm going to just smirk and hope that the audience sees that as you're not making any sense and I'm really smart. But the problem is that smirk only works when nobody pushes back effectively. And there's a broader media point here, I think, which is that modern political television is increasingly theatrical. It has been for a while, but especially now. And it's more of a role play. You've got the person in the role of the patriot, the person in the role of the elite liberal, and then the common sense guy and the concerned mom role. And every once in a while, the theater, everybody steps out of their roles and you've got a little bit of substance. And that's what I think makes Jessica effective on that show, to the extent that, remember, it's an audience that to a great degree doesn't really want to hear from her. She's effective on these panels, not so much because of ideology or principles, but she's often calmer than everybody else, and she's more grounded than everybody else. And they're all trying to generate a particular type of outrage. Now, notice also, and there's a lot of other clips we've looked at, typically, the other hosts don't really respond to Jessica Tarlov directly in terms of addressing her underlying points. Gutfeld, for example, who's a comedian, and he says funny things. I know. Gutfeld often has paperwork where he just has his joke that he's going to tell, and it doesn't even address the substance of what Jessica Tarlov is saying. It's like there's a pivot, or there's a terribly told joke, or an interruption, or maybe it's ad hominems. And because if they try to directly address what she says, it wouldn't work well, because she's right on a lot of this stuff. And these moments can resonate online because there's a discomfort there that nobody else is even on the same playing field with regard to an allegiance to the truth. Now, let me get back to the thing I said before, because I think this is also interesting from a media literacy kind of standpoint. I think it's ironic that Fox producers probably believe that having Jessica there proves we're fair and balanced, although they don't use that slogan anymore. We're open ideologically. But the reason that clips like this often go viral is viewers realize that the panel is actually quite insulated from other ideas. Jessica's there to hopefully provide some balance to the audience, but it seems wasted on the other four hosts. Final thought on this. Right-wingers have spent years mocking safe spaces, but a lot of these panels are really designed to be safe spaces. And as soon as someone breaks the safe space with a different idea that's coherently and articulately placed forward, they malfunction. They don't know what to say. They go to ad hominems, insults, etc. And I think Jessica's doing a really good job here. I don't know how many Fox News viewers are being convinced, but it's certainly interesting to at least confront some of these Mountain Dew-brained hosts, for lack of a better term. Think of how much personal information you put into your favorite AI chatbot. They track everything you say on the app. Many of them sell the data to ad companies, and they use your personal info to train the AI so your personal life lives inside the chatbot forever. Creepy stuff, which is why I recommend Venice. It's sort of like a VPN for AI. Our sponsor, Venice, gives you access to all the best and latest language models, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, DeepSeek, as well as leading image, video, and music generation models, all in one place, but you can use them privately and anonymously, and it's completely uncensored. On Venice, you can ask the AI for anything, and it won't say no. Nothing is tied to your identity because your prompts are encrypted. They never even leave your device. So no corporation or government can spy on you and those conversations. Access the world's leading AI models privately. You'll get 20% off any plan when you go to venice.ai/Pakman and use the code Pakman. The link is in the description.